Hi, I'm here on Hollywood Boulevard talking with the Cookie Monster. So, Cookie Monster, what do you think of the future now that Apple... So, Cookie Monster, what do you think of the future of Apple now that Steve Jobs is resigning as CEO?
Well, you know, I have to admit the news took me by surprise. I thought that Mr. Jobs would be in charge of Apple for a long time. You know, there is a big push to switch from cookies to apples. So when I saw the man in charge of Apple go, the Cookie Monster, I have to admit I had a little bit of joy on the inside.
Oh, so are you a direct competitor, you think, with Steve Jobs?
I think so. You'll know there's some things I'm trying. It's called the My Phone. Basically, it's just my phone, and I walk around and I try to sell people, hey, are you interested in buying my phone? It's like an iPhone, but it's got a my in the front instead of an I.
That's very cute, Cookie Monster.
It's actually just my phone, so if anyone wants to purchase it, just call the Cookie Monster.
Well, that's very inventive of you, Cookie Monster. So do you think Apple can continue to cook up new ideas with Tim Cook as the new CEO?
Well, you know, you use the word cook many times. You said cook up an idea, Tim Cook, and if anyone likes Cook, it's Cookie, Cookie, Tim Cookie, Tim Cookie, Cookie.
Oh, well, maybe you and Tim Cook can come to some sort of agreement or partnership with your inventive ideas.
Yes, you know, I could probably be his wingman. I could be product development. There's so many things that I could do. I think it is a good, beneficial partnership for both of us.
Yeah, how about Apple cookies?
I like it. You know, they have something similar at McDonald's, but I prefer the chocolate chips.
Okay. How about chocolate chips and apples?
How about computer chips and chocolate chips? Chocolate chip computer chips.
You're so creative, Cookie.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Steve Jobs, unfortunately he has pancreatic cancer. Do you think Steve should publicly support research for pancreatic cancer, similar to Superman and other super people we know?
Well, you know, Mr. Jobs is a very charitable man, and I imagine that he will take the lead from Mr. Bill Gates, who funds so many millions of projects with so many dollars. They are good men. They're an example of men who are using their influence in a way which impacts the world for the greater good.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
You're shocked that I actually had a good idea.
No, Cookie Monster, you have tons of inventive ideas. So now they always say an apple away will keep the doctor away. Do you feel it's the same with cookies?
I say a cookie a minute gets you right up in it. That's what I say.
I hope you're right, Cookie Monster, because we love our cookies.
Yes, we'll not have any cutbacks in the cookie department.
Okay, do you have any last words for anyone at home? How about Steve Jobs, in case he's watching?
Well, you know, now that you have some time to relax, I suggest just sitting back, kicking it with a nice tall glass of milk and a cookie.
Okay, thank you very much, Cookie Monster.
You are so welcome.
So you've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world, Cookie Monster. What idea would you pitch?
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary General. I, the Cookie Monster, have a friend named Oscar the Grouch, and Oscar lives in a garbage can out on the street. All I'm saying is that every house has a garbage can. Why not let my friend Oscar live in your house instead of on the street? And let's not just extend this to Oscar. Let's extend it to anyone who lives in a garbage can out on the street. If every person in the world exchanged their garbage can in their house for a garbage can that someone else was living in, then we would curb the homeless problem in the world. And Mr. Secretary General, I implore you, heed the words of the Cookie Monster.
Well, that's absolutely beautiful, Cookie Monster. I think you deserve an Oscar award for that.
Oh, I like it. What you did there, that was very punny. You took Oscar and you said Oscar, that was great. I like that.
Thank you, Cookie Monster.
Thank you. You're very nice.
So, I'm here with Darth Vader. Darth, what do you think of the future of Apple now that Steve Jobs is resigning as CEO?
Well, now that he's resigning, I'm hoping that he picked the right man for the job and can lead Apple into the next century. They seem to have a wide variety of amazing inventions, and hopefully that will continue.
Great. Well, actually, do you think that Apple can continue to cook up new ideas now that Tim Cook is the new CEO?
I certainly hope so, because they still have all the, let's say, scientists and software writers that they had before, and I'm sure that they had things in the works now that are not out on the market that should at least take them a little distance into the future.
Great.
Did you look this way?
Yes, certainly.
You're like...
Steve Jobs has pancreatic cancer. Do you think that Steve should publicly support research and funding for pancreatic cancer?
Well, it seems like more and more people are dying of pancreatic cancer every day, so I certainly think, that he should step up, and maybe commit to supporting it and being an active supporter.
Now, you have a very close connection to the Force. Do you think we should support research into the Force?
Oh yes, the Force has amazing capabilities. So definitely it would not hurt for every single person to learn to feel the Force that lies within.
Who do you think would benefit more from the Force? Apple or Microsoft?
Ooh, Apple or Microsoft? I think Apple's had it all along. So maybe one day Microsoft will catch up, but they're a little strong-headed about what people like and don't like.
Do you think Cook has the Force behind him?
I definitely think Cook has the Force within him.
Thank you very much for talking with us, Darth.
No problem. Hollywood Darth Vader here on Hollywood Boulevard saying, "Who's your daddy now?"
Thank you, Darth.
Got it.
I'm here with Darth Vader. Darth, you've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What idea do you want to pitch?
Now, excuse me, Mr. Secretary General, but what I think this world needs is a community of politicians and bankers to get together and help bring the third world up to the same level of technology, home services, like running water, sewer, electricity into all homes, and make sure that people have make sure that the people have the same things that we in the United States and mostly parts of Europe have had for like 50 years now.
Do you think the Secretary General can handle that?
They should. That's why they're there.
Well, may the Force be with you, Darth.
May the Force be with you. Have a wonderful day and a pleasant tomorrow.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Here I am in Hollywood talking with Jules. Jules, what do you think the future of Apple is now that Steve Jobs is resigning as CEO?
Well, I think Apple is in good shape because he's still remaining as chairman of the board. My memory is correct.
Okay. And do you think Apple will continue to cook up new ideas now that Tim Cook is the CEO?
Now you're cooking. Now you're cooking. That's some good shit. I think that it's a good move with Jobs stepping down and allowing his right-hand man to take over. He always said that if he couldn't give it 100% all of his attention, that he would step down. And I think it would have been some fucked up, repugnant shit for him to try to stay on. So he's definitely doing the right thing.
Okay, well, you are very passionate about that. Now, Steve Jobs, he has pancreatic cancer. Do you think Steve should publicly support research funding pancreatic cancer like Superman and other super people have?
Most definitely. I think he has. If he hasn't, I think he will. It's just a matter of time. He's walking in the light with God now, so expect him to do some great things. He's a humanitarian, I believe, in heart.
Do you have any words for Apple enthusiasts out there at home?
Apple enthusiasts, keep your motherfucking head up. It's all good. And at the end of the day, remember, if you don't believe in Apple, you're going to have to deal with one mushroom cloud laying motherfucker.
Thank you.
Was that too much profanity? I'm sorry. The character swears every 2 seconds.
You know, you're so in character. So show him the other question. All right, so what do you think the future of Apple is now that Steve Jobs is resigning as CEO?
Not as amazing, but still good. There's always hope for something good, right?
Yeah, there is always hope. Do you think Apple can continue to cook up new ideas now that Tim Cook is in charge?
We hope so.
And do you think now that Steve Jobs knows he has pancreatic cancer, he should start giving to charities and spending time promoting research for pancreatic cancer,
Right.
like Superman and other super people have done in the past?
Right. Well, the way I see it is like, the more you help the research, the sooner the cure can be found. It's common sense and logic, which is not usually used these days.
Well, thank you. Do you have any other last words for people at home learning about Apple?
Well, just stick with Apple and I think everything will be good.
Thank you for talking with us.
No problem.
You've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you pitch?
Well, excuse me, Mr. Secretary General, but I think that honesty should be more into business and less in politics, because obviously it's not being used in politics. A lot of people are frowning on that for some stupid reason.
So there's a big difference between business and politics, or they should stay separate is what you're saying.
Yes. Because it's like the mind and the heart are two different things, but together they can work to, better life. The only difference is the mind works different from the heart, so they're in different parts, areas.
All right, thank you. I'm here in Hollywood talking with Catwoman. Catwoman, what do you think the future of Apple is now that Steve Jobs has stepped down as CEO?
I don't know. That's yet to be seen. I don't know how good Tim Cook is, but yeah, he's got a tough job on his hands.
Do you think Apple can continue to cook up new ideas now that Tim Cook is the CEO?
It's a possibility. Like I said, we gotta see. He's gotta prove himself because it's not just any little job. It's not a little step. It's a big step. So if you're taking over a company like Apple, you better be ready as hell to keep it going, keep the changes going, keep the company going, and keep coming up with those ideas fast.
Now that Steve Jobs has retired because of his pancreatic cancer, do you think Steve Jobs should publicly support research and funding for pancreatic cancer? Like so many heroes in our past have supported research like Superman and other super people.
Oh, of course he should, especially with all the money he's made. He definitely should. He's a very, very rich man, and I think that, donating part of that money is a very good idea.
Do you have any last words for Steve Jobs or any other Apple fans out there watching?
Well, I feel bad for Steve Jobs in his situation, and Tim Cook, good luck. You got a hard job ahead of you.
Thank you, Catwoman.
Meow.
You've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you pitch, Catwoman?
Well, excuse me, Mr. Secretary General. I think a lot of countries need to take care of themselves, and other countries need not to be getting involved in other countries' problems. It seems like one country gets involved in another country's situation and this, that, the other. If a country wants to stand on their own 2 feet, they need to learn how to do that on their own instead of sending help and aid from every other country to take care of them. If you're a country, get it together. If not, hey, what can I say? So I think that every country needs to learn how to take care of themselves and stop minding every other country's business.
Thank you, Catwoman. So you've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you ask?
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary General, all we need to do is we need more jobs out here for people to have, and let us have more work out here for people to live their lives more better and not be struggling with not having any money in their pockets and stuff like that. So we should just let people have more jobs out here. That's what we need. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Jobs. Okay, so you have 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you pitch?
About child abuse, they should stop that. Those people that are a little bit crazy, they are just people that, what can I tell you? It is not right that people should go hurting children, and they should stop that to change the world about that. That's it. Thank you. Well, that's it. What else can I say?
Thank you very much.
It's not easy being green.
Oh, but it's such a pretty color.
It's a fantastic color.
All right, so Kermit, you've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What do you want to ask?
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary General. Okay, if you have the greatest concern for the greatest color, which is, of course, green, and we both agree on this here, then you would make a sincere effort to move this country in the direction of green. I mean, we've got a lot of fossil fuels that are diminishing. I mean, we've got a lot of green options. I think that's really in our best interest to really sincerely approach this and not just beat around the bush, not just pretend that we're making a solution. Go for real change. Let's go green.
What a wonderful idea, Kermit.
I know, so original.
But it's a good idea. It's universal.
Yeah, thank my writers.
I will. Thank you, Kermit. How's Miss Piggy doing?
Oh, that's a sore subject, though. Let's stay on the positive for now. Yeah, we'll stay on the positive.
Okay.
And thank you.
Thank you.
For the opportunity to say hello. Bye.
So, Superman, you've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you pitch?
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary General, is there any way we can get rid of all these gas-burning vehicles and go with electric or even solar? You know, we are killing our ozone layer with all these gas-burning vehicles and machinery.
So you've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you ask, Venom?
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary General. I plead you that if you help the starving people of the world to give them some food, that would change the world. People need food to eat, and it is imperative to give prasadam to the whole world. So if you can, Mr. Secretary General, I pray that you expand religious institutions, and that you, especially the Hare Krishna movement, it's definitely the highest, it's the highest thing.
All right.
What about that? Is that
Thank
okay?
you. You got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you ask, Venom?
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary General. I plead that you expand preaching programs and that you also help the poor. People need to eat, and especially if the whole world is inundated with prasadam, the whole world will change. And it will also change if you help the Hare Krishna movement.
Thank you. All right, so you have 30 seconds to pitch an idea that could change the world to the Secretary General. What would you ask?
Mr. Secretary General, why don't you place sanctions on the countries that don't pay their citizens a decent wage, and so their cost of living can go up? Also, maybe you can use corporations that have industries that they have a large amount of their investments in plastics. You give them a non-incentive to capitalize on the global economy by not pushing out their products and invent a new product to replace plastic, and then we can save our gas that we have, and we won't have to shift to other sources of fuel.
Great, thank you. Could you say, excuse me, Mr. Secretary General again? So you have 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you ask?
Excuse me, Mr. Secretary General. I think you should come up with a plan that helps the poor so nobody's neglected, left behind, or left homeless. This is horrible. We need help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You've got 30 seconds to pitch an idea to the Secretary General that could change the world. What would you ask?
Hi, well, my name is Optimus. I think one of the best ideas for change the world is really the United Nations became a United Nations, not a United States of America nations. Okay? I mean, everybody can give their opinions, you know, and participate in equal conditions.
Thank you. He didn't say, excuse me, Mr.